Welcome to Positive Atheism English Channel. Today, I shall continue the third part of the Faith and Superstition written by Dr. Narendra Dabolkar, the rationalist. Difficulties in sorting out faith and superstition. The difficulties arise out of three main reasons. The first is the word testimony, second, the testimony of the book, and the third, utter reluctance of individuals to critically examine one's own faith and object to others doing so. Testimony of the word means the sanctity of the word uttered by a particular individual. His word is the ultimate truth and therefore beyond any critical examination by anyone. This is the stand people often take that makes it impossible to examine a faith. This has happened even in the field of science. Galileo invented the telescope. He requested his colleagues to look at the sky through it so that they will see for themselves that there are three more satellites revolving around the planet Jupiter. In those days, all the content that was taught at the universities was that Aristotle had said no more, because his was the last word. His disciples firmly believed that anything that Aristotle did not say does not exist. He was a master of all he knows. Being Aristotle's disciples, Galileo's colleagues refused to look through his telescope. What you see are not Jupiter's satellites, they argued. They are but stains on the glass of your telescopes. On this, Galileo suggested that he could clean the glass. If after cleaning the glass you still see the satellites, there must be some defect in your eyes, they maintained. Galileo then requested them to use their own faultless sight instead of his, but they refused to oblige him. They had absolutely no need for them to use their own sight. They firmly believed that their preceptor had passed on to them all the knowledge that there was through his word. They told Galileo, if not in your eyesight, it might be your brain where the damages occurred. This is word testimony. Now, what is the testimony of the book? Let us see. I had been to Jalna recently. An official of the sugar factory there came to meet with me. He had read many of my books and he told me that they fully agreed with my views. But my colleagues asked me, he complained, when Jnaneswar, the great sage, claims in his Gatha that the recitation of his Gatha will not only help one in several ways, but it will also help get rid of ghosts if one is possessed. Doesn't it prove the existence of ghosts? Now, if your Dabolkar asserts that there are no ghosts, do you mean to say that he is greater than Jnaneswar himself? It is obvious, I humbly submit, that Jnaneswar is much too great, but this fact does not prove the existence of ghosts. The sage undoubtedly was a great poet and philosopher, but that does not mean that whatever he wrote in his books is true to the letter and therefore should be accepted as irrefutable truth. And mind you, this does not diminish his greatness even a wee bit. Let us see how. In a fair or a pilgrimage, there are crowds of people roaming about. Sometimes there happens to be a snake charmer surrounded by a big crowd. Then comes along a man with his 3 to 4 years old son and stops near the crowd. He stretches his neck, raises heels, and can't see anything. His son suggests, Father, put me on your shoulder. The father obliges. Now the child is able to see all that is happening in the center of the crowd. He goes on describing, the snake charmer is playing his pipe and a cobra is swinging his hood in front of the snake charmer, etc., etc. After hearing all this, the father would not scold his son. The child here does see and understand what the father does not, for sitting on the father's shoulder, the son has really become taller. We all have climbed up a huge ladder of 700 years and can now see father sitting on sage Jnaneswar's shoulders. In his time, concepts like mental health, mental illness, or the phenomenon of being possessed were not clearly understood. Now they are, and to understand them, we need to depend on the testimony of Jnaneswar's Gatha. On inventing the telescope, Galileo proceeded to tell others that he thinks that the sun does not revolve round the earth, but it's the earth that revolves round the sun. At this, the whole of Europe was agog. The universities of Europe all along had been teaching on the testimony of the Bible that our loving and kind Father in the heaven has put the sun and the moon in the sky for giving us the appropriate light during the day and night. The same question propped up here too. Who is greater, the Bible or Galileo? The rest is history that we all know. Galileo was ordered to appear before the church. He was told that his crime was so grave as to invite nothing less than death penalty. However, if he begs for pardon, admitting his crime, his life would be spared and he would get only life imprisonment. Galileo knelt down and begged for pardon, saying, "I am wrong, and I promise that I will not repeat my mistake. I accept what is said in the Bible and reiterate that the earth does not revolve round the sun." The third difficulty in separating faith from superstition is that people do not examine their own faith, nor do they allow others to do so. A number of Christian missionaries crisscross our country. They have a number of religious kith and kin here. They claim that if you sincerely pray our Lord Jesus, the blind will see, the lame walk, and the dumb talk. They organize big congregations to preach this. During the prayer sessions, they invite blind, dumb, and lame individuals from amongst the audience to the stage. An illusion is created that these people are actually being cured of their handicap. Andhashraddha Nirmoolan Samiti challenged the missionaries to let Andhashraddha Nirmoolan Samiti verify whether such supernatural means can really cure people of their defects. Such prayer sessions were organized in Kudal some time ago for 3 consecutive days. The Kudal branch of Andhashraddha Nirmoolana Samiti offered to send 10 blind students from a blind school there, whom the missionaries would kindly grant sight through their prayers or alternately wind up their fraudulent trade. To this, the educated Christian community reacted vehemently. Not only did they oppose us, but they also insisted that their prayers are effective and the blind, dumb, and lame do see, speak, and walk as a result of blessings by Jesus. But for this to happen, one must firmly believe in Him. The blind boys you are sending to us are unlikely to be firm believers. It is therefore not possible to verify the fact and no point in examining our faith. We shall not allow you to do so. And from here, I shall read out you to the remaining part in the next episode again. Thank you.
For more videos, please subscribe to our Positive Atheism English Channel presented by Dr. Samaram Multi-Channel Network, which is nearby 20 crore views. Please like, subscribe and share our videos. And for notification of our new videos, please click the bell icon.
Please download Samaram Multi-Channel app and watch your favorite channels from your mobile. App available on Google Play Store and subscribe to the channels.